told you that the same brain chemical that helped your ancestors search and hunt for food is also the reason why you can scroll on TikTok for hours on end without even noticing? This brain chemical is called dopamine, and it has a big say in how motivated, focused, or distracted you are. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger that helps brain cells talk to each other. It's part of the brain's reward system, the network that tells you something feels good and encourages you to do it again. When you win a game, eat your favorite food, get a new notification, or achieve a goal, your brain releases dopamine. It doesn't just create pleasure, it creates anticipation. In neuroscience terms, it's strongly tied to reward prediction, which is your brain's way of guessing if something will be rewarding before it even happens. Dopamine is not a one trick molecule, and it definitely does not live rent free in the prefrontal cortex. Think of it as a messenger that runs an entire postal service between different brain hubs. The different brain hubs are the ventral tegmental area, VTA. It's called the dopamine dispatch center, deciding when to send the signal. The nucleus accumbens, the brain's anticipation meter, lighting up when you think you're about to get something rewarding. The striatum, fine-tuning your motivation to act. And yes, the prefrontal cortex, the executive that weighs long-term consequences, but is just one part of a much bigger conversation. In teenagers, this postal network is slightly unbalanced. The VTA and the nucleus accumbens are hypersensitive, which means they send, "Yes, let's do it," signals fast, while the prefrontal cortex is still training for the marathon called adult decision making. This is why instant rewards like TikTok notifications or quick game wins feel so disproportionately satisfying. The dopamine spikes are larger and more frequent, and the slow down think part of the brain doesn't always intervene in time. Apps like TikTok are not just entertainment. They are carefully engineered systems that are designed to talk directly to your brain's reward network. Every swipe gives you a shot of novelty, a funny clip, a shocking fact, or something weirdly relatable, and your brain lights up. The trick is unpredictability. Scientists call it a variable reward schedule. You don't know what's coming next, and that uncertainty keeps the dopamine flowing. This is the same concept that's used in slot machines in casinos, but instead of coins, you're spending your time and attention. What makes this even more intense is that these companies hire behavioral psychologists to design these reward loops. In fact, in many of these tech firms, the people studying human behavior are valued more than the people coding the app. Because once they find the exact pattern that keeps you hooked, they find a way to keep you scrolling for hours. And every second means more ads, more data, and more profit. Dopamine is not just about pleasure, it's also about motivation. Low dopamine levels can make tasks feel harder to start and less satisfying to finish. This is why doing things with a quick payoff, such as checking your phone, can feel so much easier than doing something with a delayed reward, such as studying for an exam. The more your brain gets used to quick hits of dopamine, the harder it can be to stick with slower, long term goals. Over time, this can affect focus, self control, and even mood regulation. When your brain is repeatedly exposed to high intensity rewards, it can adapt by reducing dopamine receptors or reducing sensitivity to dopamine signals. This doesn't mean that you run out of dopamine, it just means that it can make your everyday rewards feel less exciting. This is why something as simple as reading a book can feel much harder after hours of digital stimulation. Your brain has recalibrated to expect faster and more intense dopamine hits. The goal is not to remove dopamine. You need it to thrive and survive. The key to making dopamine healthy is balance. Take short breaks from fast reward activities like social media. A 2-week digital detox, where usage is limited, has been linked to improvements in sleep, life satisfaction, and reduced smartphone addiction. Schedule tasks with built in mini rewards. A rising trend called dopamine anchoring uses positive reinforcement, pairing mundane tasks with something enjoyable to boost motivation and reduce procrastination. Try dopamine fasting for a few hours, not to reset your brain, but to remind yourself that slower activities can feel rewarding too. Research suggests that this approach may reduce impulsivity and improve focus, though extreme versions can have downside, so moderation is key. Your brain is constantly changing. The way you use dopamine now can shape your motivation and focus for years to come. So, the next time you catch yourself in an endless scroll, it's not just your willpower, it's your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. You just live in a world which knows exactly which buttons to press. If you want to learn more about the teenage brain, make sure to check out the other videos on my YouTube channel.